Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're joining us from any state, please can you just send in your state code and tell us the state you're joining us from? And if you're excited for today's session, also today, please just tell us what is making you excited. Last Thursday was very educating, enlightening, and I know today will be more of feedbacks because today we have participants who has turned facilitators. How do you imagine yourself to be part of those people today? Once again, good morning, all the way from HQ Mind Gap. I was saying, youth are here, the future summit, and we have with me here Soya. She's going to be co-hosting with me. I want to say thank you once again for joining everywhere you're joining us from. Just populate the chat box by telling us where you're joining us from. Abuja Last Born, good morning. Thank you so much for joining. We have Samuel from the Federal Capital. Thank you so much for joining. Come on, let's populate the chat box. Tell us where you're joining us from so we get to know where is being represented this morning. What state is represented? Don't forget, this is a series, and that is why you're here this morning. And I know you don't want to miss out on the education that you will be learning from here. I have with me Esoya. Esoya, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Much for joining in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. I can see Simon, I can see Samuel, I can see Abuja Lasbon. Thank you so much. I know that something that we tend to build as a culture is attending things late, but thank you so much for joining early. So yes, we're about to get started, and I'm sure it's going to be an enlightening session. I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting session because you're going to learn from so many of your peers and people who are doing amazing, thinking amazing, and maybe you'll be able to pick one or two things as well. So thank you so much for joining in.
Just to encourage those who are coming in early, I think we should just plan to send them some data just to encourage, just so that they know. So anyway, you want to get to know who are the people that are the top 10, who are able to get here, who are punctual apart from the speakers themselves. I think it would be nice if we can support them with something to encourage them to be punctual. That's Mario, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. And we observed that someone joined us 30 minutes before the time. And we are glad that we are going to be reaching out to that person to be part of the people we are going to be giving data support. And you're lucky today because you joined in very early. And Mr. Tayo has already said we'll be supporting some of us with data. And thank you so much, sir, once again for all you do. So we'll be starting with the national anthem, and after which we dive into the program in full. Admin, are you ready? All right, at the count of 1, 2, 3, we sing the national anthem. 1. Come on, can we put our virtual hands together for Nigeria? Nigeria may be blessed. Nigeria is blessed. On to the topic we have today. The youth are here, connecting my job and entrepreneurship aspiration to the impact for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that digital onboarded CDS and DL for all CDS is focused on your future. How we want to help small businesses, how we want to impact in you to be one who helps businesses and also not leaving you gentlemen, we are here to say that today we are going to be having a TikTok conversation to make you know and understand that we are here, youth are here. We are connecting the job we do and entrepreneurship aspiration to the pact for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing? What is your role to the pact of the future? I get to call my colleague here, my co-host, to also welcome the speakers for today. So yeah, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mayowa. And yes, just like he has asked, what are you doing? How are you contributing to the Pact for the Future? I mean, it's a conversation that we might just have started having, but it's a very important conversation to have. So, everyone, welcome. Today's session is about envisioning the future through innovative ideas that align with the Pact for the Future. Now, this is a space I'm categorically telling you that this is a space for bold, impactful, and transformative solutions that can drive real change. And as some of your colleagues will be sharing their ideas, you in the audience think about how you as well can contribute to sustainability, how you can contribute to inclusivity, how you can contribute to long-term growth. I mean, the world needs solutions that are not just innovative, but also scalable and relevant to the challenges we face. So I would just love to start bringing up the speakers now. I mean, I'm not one of the people that are going to be sharing their ideas. I wish I was, so that I would be
Yeah.
funded too. But
I
we're going
really wish you were a part of them. I really wish you were part of them. But I think
to
before we get to call the speakers, we have Mr.
okay.
Tayo. What do you think? I have a feeling that these people need to get the taste of Mr. Tayo to understand the passion that drives
Yes, they
all of
do.
this. Cool. So
Oh my
so yeah,
God.
please can we make welcome Mr. Tayo, the executive director of Mind the Gap, as he just gives us a charge on why you should connect, youth. Ladies and gentlemen, if your virtual hands are not too busy, can we put our hands together? Can we celebrate Mr. Tayo, the man behind the vision of youthnomics, the man who is a
Oh,
mentor and icon?
interestingly, I wasn't prepared for
Can we put
this,
our hands together for
right?
Mr.
So, but you guys
Tayo,
have,
a
I wasn't
youth that
prepared
has
for
not
this,
retired,
but you
a
guys
youth he
have
has been
set me up.
there for a
So,
while.
I
Come
guess
on,
I
put
may
your hands
just,
together for Mr. Tayo.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yes,
I said I
sir, we
wasn't
can
prepared
hear
for this, but because you have set me up, I can as well just read out a couple of what I've written down concerning the reason why we're here. And I trust that there will be another opportunity for me to really speak to the reason why we're here someday. And it's because of the fact that, see, addressing socioeconomic and environmental and political problem does not only highlight gaps, in our everyday life. For those of us who are conversant with being able to look at in the political realm, here are the challenges. In the environmental realm, there are the challenges. In the socioeconomic space, there are the challenges. The ability to internalize and see all those gaps should not just keep us in a state of confusion where, we are worried, about what is happening, but it should lead us, to seeing the opportunity that are available in the problems. Because every single time you see what is not working, what should happen to you eventually is for a realization of the fact that for every problem that you see around you, from every problem, and that is the emphasis I want to say, there is a corresponding solution that has a capacity to create jobs or become an entrepreneurial opportunity. And that is the philosophy behind Mind the Gap. Just like the name says, mind the gap. You know, what we are emphasizing here is the ability to become a problem solver. Whether in terms of working for somebody or starting your own business, we do not have an option but to allow a critical mass of Nigerian youth to become problem solver. Because in being a problem solver is the opportunity for the job, for the businesses that will provide for you all that you need. There is no better place to be other than now. It's other than Nigeria or Africa. The problems are enormous. So also are the solution. So also are the opportunity. So, like I said earlier, addressing socioeconomic, environmental, and political problems not only highlight gaps in the market, but also present opportunity for innovation, community engagement, and job creation. By fostering a culture of entrepreneurship that targets these challenges, society can turn difficulties into opportunity that benefit the economy and promote social well-being. All I want to say to all of us who are on this call today and those who are going to listen to this or watch this video later is to understand that the solution to finding the dream job, what you want to do, whether you want to work in a company or a small business or a big company, is to identify the problem you want to solve for the employer. Every employer has a problem they want to solve. Every employer has a problem they want to solve. Just like we always say, one of the ways to create new jobs and to create entrepreneurship opportunity is to look at the limits of the current career and identify the challenge that everybody is always complaining about and create a solution. I'll give you a typical example. My background is in HR. I started my career some years back. But when I got into HR, my job was to spend 1 minute on the CV of an average graduate, entry level. And I realized that the more I spend 1 minute on an average graduate, I keep seeing gaps because all I'm supposed to do on those CV is to identify your age, class of degree, and course of study. Those are the 3 things I'm looking for. And I began to find out that a lot of people who didn't qualify for those 3 categories, many of them are pushed aside. But when we now have to look out for extra thing we are looking for in a CV, that is when we are looking for what is called achievement-oriented CV. And that's why I realized that it's not because people, the Nigerian youth are not really employable, it's that Nigerian youth are not presenting themselves and identifying areas where they can be of value to the employer. Every employer needs somebody. I can guarantee you there are over 1 million medium and small business today that can employ 1 million Nigerian youth today. And I'm not saying that because I just want to say something fancy. I run a business. Right? I know that there are some skills I need in my company right now. That if you say, I have these skills, you have immediate employment. So also are a million other businesses in your locality. What you need to do now is ask yourself, what could be the problem of this company? Go to their website, check them out, do your research on them, and say, okay, how can I be the solution to the problem this company is having? And one of the ways you can identify the solution you can provide for them is by looking at socioeconomical and political challenges that businesses are facing. I'll say this and I will shut up. Every business have 5 things they want to do, from Aliko Dangote to Elon Musk to even that small business by your side. Every business. And you can find any one of all those businesses, you can innovatively leverage the Pact of the future, some of the principles of the Pact of the future to create a solution and be that employer that the business is looking for. Number 1, every business wants to develop innovative products and services. Every business are not just supposed to produce goods and services today because there is scarcity of money. So if your business is going to sell, you must be creating product that people are willing to pay with their hard-earned money. So businesses need innovative products. So if you look at any business around you or where you are serving or where you are working, say, what is the innovative product of this business? Walk in there and say, you know what? I just learned something about innovative product. I look at some of the product you are selling. I did my analysis on it. I did my, research on it. And I found out that, look, we could do better in terms of this product or service that we are providing. Trust me, somebody's going to listen to you. Customers want to buy products that are solving real problem. And that problem include problem of environment, problem of cost, problem of all those kind of problems that businesses that customer want to solve. Every product must be able to solve, and you are going to be that person that is going to actually help people solve. I can give you an example. So when I was starting my career, I realized that people used to say Nigerian youth are not employable. Nigerian youth are not employed. I heard that word so much. Like we hear so much people saying education is bad, health is bad. Many people are talking about all those things that's not bad, that is not working. But I said to myself, I will stop talking about what is not working. I will start doing something. And that's what led to what we call Mind the Gap today. 15 years going. We've been working and working with young people, and we have so many success stories that because we put ourselves forward, and some of the guys you are going to hear today are also part of the problem solvers whom we have identified. We're going to be working with them to transform their ideas into projects and turn their project into profit. And so I want to encourage you. So the second thing every business wants is every business wants to reduce cost of doing business. They want to improve on their processes, right? So by helping and knowing how to help a product to actually reduce the process of delivering, of producing what they are producing, you will be able to kind of walk into a company and say, you know what, I know you do this, and I think there's a better way you can do it. You must always say, oh, how do I know that? That's why you went to school. Do your research. Find out maybe they are producing this shirt. Okay, this shirt is costing X amount of money. Is there a way this shirt can be better distributed that will make the cost cheaper, for the employer, including using social media to distribute? The third thing every employer wants to do is they want to get their product to the face of their customer. Every 1 million business needs to do that today. And that's an easy point that everyone can actually help businesses to actually to sell their products, especially using technology. The fourth thing every business wants to do, every business wants to maximize profit. How can I help them to really, really ensure that they are making X amount of money and they can actually make some amount of money so that the profit can be maximized? Every business wants to expand. That's the fifth thing. Ask yourself, which one of these areas do you think you can help a business, and how can you use some of the ideas and solutions in the Pact of the Future to help small businesses or to create your own business? In a later day, I'm going to be sharing with you, maybe next week, on how to create your own job, leveraging, the Pact of the Future, just like some of the guys are going to be sharing with us today. So, guys, I want to let you know one thing. There is a way to create your own job. I've never applied for a job in my life. Job opened up because people recognize what I could do, and they actually give me an opportunity to be in. The same thing in our company. Majority of the guys that work with me, none of them apply. Somebody referred them because these guys can help us in this area, and we look at and we check them out, and many of them are working today. So, guys, I just want to encourage you and challenge you to go and study that Pact of the Future. Look for environmental, political, and sustainable solutions that you can really help an organization to turn into a product, or get to service their customer better, or get to actually increase cost of their product, or get their product into the eyes of their customers. These are things that businesses need, and these are services that you can provide, leveraging the ideas in the Pact of the Future. Thank you very much for this time. I hope that is enough charge. I wasn't prepared for it, but it's always there. So you need to learn to understand environmental issues as a way of solving problems. Thank you very much, Asoya Maiwa. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wise words of wisdom. I mean, there are so many things that we should have picked up. There are so many things that we should have noted right now. As someone who is currently listening, as someone who is currently watching, or you're going to watch this later on, you should not be without your notepad, right? There are so many things that you could have picked up from everything that Mr. Tayo has talked about. And we can see that first he talked about how, these are the things that businesses need. This is how you can place yourself strategically. I mean, these are ideas that by the time I leave this session, I'm going to start implementing. So trust me, you do not want to leave this session without noting down ideas, or without going back to really sit with yourself and see how you're going to implement them, right? Mayowa, are we up? Can we bring up the speakers, or just to confirm?
Yes. Thank you so much once again, Esoya. And big thumbs up to Mr. Tayo. Thank you so much for always being ever ready. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. We are fired up and we're ready to get feedbacks from the speakers. Esoya, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mayowa. So we'd have the speakers come up now. And please, 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 we're trying to work within the 1 hour time duration that we have for this. So if we can just have the very first speaker come up. Admin, you're at will to bring up. Yes, you can just bring up anybody. So we're going to have her introduce herself. Her name is Josephine. Yes, hi Josephine, nice to see you.
Hi, good
Yes.
morning.
Hi, good morning. So, how we came up with this idea, right? Basically, for those who attended, for those of us who attended the high level debriefing of the Summit of the Future event at the CBN headquarters in Abuja, we just put together quite a number of people and said, okay, now you've learned about what happened at the Summit of the Future last year. You know a bit about the Pact for the Future. I mean, even last week's session was still talking about the Pact for the Future. How are you going to put this into practice in your various businesses, CDSCs? If you were to implement a project right now, how would you put this knowledge, everything that you're learning about the Pact for the Future, how would you put it to whatever it is that you want to do? And then amazing people contributed and sent in their ideas, and we're like, okay, you know what? Let them share their ideas with the world. I mean, you never know who is listening. The Elon Musk that want to fund it, right? So I'll give the stage to Josephine. She would introduce herself and quickly talk about her idea. So we'll be working with 5 minutes, at most 7 minutes. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Good day, everyone. My name is Josephine Openeteri, and I am an economist, particularly towing the line towards development and, of course, integrating finance to whatever I do. So presently, I'm doing my NYSC with the CDS under Mind the Gap. And when I saw the question, I was like, oh, wow, this is like an opportunity to express some of the key things that has been disturbing me, especially as a development economist, because I go into the field, I see how these things are happening and the rest of it. So well, with the idea that we have to impact people and communities, there was something that just struck to me, and that is the idea of sustainability. So, when thinking of a project, I think of sustainability, okay? Not just about meeting the needs of the people at the moment, but also that the beneficiaries have the capacity to sustain themselves, even when I'm not there, or even when, those things are not really coming. So something that is sustainable is going to keep you, whether or not you're having all the people around you at that time. So that was where I was looking towards. So then I was like, okay, so as a development economist, I have noticed one key issue going on in our society, and that is mindset gap. So if I had the opportunity to start an initiative now, a development initiative at the moment that is going to like create impact in any kind of society, it will be addressing the mindset gap, because what people don't know, they cannot be part of, and what people see as a threat, they cannot want it to influence them. So sometimes I'll call it grassroots orientation. Sometimes I'll call it addressing cultural, yeah, thank you. Sometimes I'll call it addressing cultural barriers, because there are some places that even if you want to, talk about the the goals, they'll be like, no, education is not for women. I don't want to call names, but we know how all these things are perceived. So at the end of the day, there's a mindset gap towards absorbing these goals. And that is where I come in as a person. I have been able to identify this, and I was like, okay, this is an issue that I know that has to be addressed. So anywhere we want to come from, this development initiative would aim at a drastic approach to bridging the gap between social issues and those who are supposed to benefit by being aware of these things and participating in the issues. So some people are not aware, first of all, in as much as we are here talking about it, and so some of us have gone far attending events and everything. There are some people in rural this that have no idea. If you bring like all this, they'll be like, hello, okay, yes, I know that I should go to school, but they don't know that it is a social problem. So there are there are actually some people who are not aware of the issues, especially at the grassroots. While people have not seen someone who can speak it in their language, someone who can relate it to them. So it's like everywhere they've heard about it, it's always like a challenge to absorb it. So we are like some of them have not been able to see someone who will talk to them in a way that affects their own kind of life. While some of the people have not found who will speak it, like especially those in the cultural side, they don't feel like you are saying it in a way that doesn't tamper their culture, doesn't disrupt their unique way of life. So with all this, I've been able to identify during my area of research, my exposure, and I've seen that okay, this is an issue that we should address. The part of the future, like I've been able to jot down, is like one of the key principles is inclusivity. So if people are not included in this goal, if people are not included in how to take part, we will just be going round and round. So I was like, okay, this is one thing that I know that we have to be able to come together and address. So this now is relating to the part of the future because it's going to empower people to embrace SDGs goals and kind of like improve inclusivity, education, and awareness. Okay, so this is kind of like a forward-looking initiative that helps to bridge the mindset gap, preparing youths and grassroots to actively participate in shaping a future built on the SDGs. So by addressing this cultural issue, we kind of like promote equitable development, inclusivity, and contribute to future cohesion, economic growth, and sustainability for all. So it doesn't just stop there. When we have been able to tell them, okay, be part of these things, look at the issues that the world is going through. This is how you can leverage your field to do this. We can now go out to identify people in those local com- communities and empower them, especially those who have some crafts, some skills. Instead of just going to rush in and start saying, okay, learn this skill, learn. Why not identify those who already have these skills and be like, okay, look at how you can leverage digital tools to put yourself out there. So at the end of the day, the SDGs goal will be economic growth in the long run, inclusivity, reducing inequality, and promoting sustainable development in general. So that's the idea. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josephine. That's really enlightening. The fact that you have actually taken the time to do some research. Okay, you've seen the problem, you've noted the problem, and you're proposing your solution and putting it together with how it aligns with the Pact for the Future. Just as a recap, I would just like to say to everyone that Josephine is saying that the problem that she has identified is that there is a mindset and cultural gap, and through her research and all of the feedback that she has gotten, she's proposing her solution. So I just want to go in or zoom in on what your solution is. While you talked about being aware, there being awareness and quite a number of things, I wanted to ask, what exactly are you proposing, right? Because I didn't specifically hear that. Are you talking about what's it called, um having informative sessions with the people who are experiencing this mindset gap? What exactly is it that is the solution?
Okay, so I already kind of like jotted them down, but because of time, I was like, okay, let me not be too
just
inside.
just zoom in on what the key point of it is, of your
Okay, so
solution.
for example, now culturally, if you want to address the issue of culture, mindset. From my exposure as an economic researcher, you do not use force or laws to tamper with people's way of life because this is what they'll be doing for years, even before SDG came up and UN. But what I've been able to identify through research is orientation. You influence culture. You don't use law like everybody must go to this, and you know that this part of the world. They don't go with that kind of thing. So the best you can do is explain to them, I understand that you guys have this way of life. I understand that this is how you guys go about things. But what if we can do this differently? No, it doesn't tamper with your way of life. It doesn't tamper with your culture. It's just going to improve lives. You will see that these people, they will feel comfortable listening to you. That's why I say they've not seen people that speak their language. I don't want to call any place like any place, but this issue of education in some part of um, the country, if you see now, people are kind of like adopting, but it's not still easy because there's a standard that they have normally. Women don't go to school. And if you actually go there and you listen to their point of view on why they have that as their own rule, it's not wrong. So just coming in and pushing them to, it's kind of like going to have this resistance. So the first thing is going to be cultural orientation. Just speak to them, workshop, give them skills. Say, this is a girl that has gone to school. See how far she has gone. We're not saying that if we should tamper with your things, but we're just saying if your daughter goes to school, all these kind of things that you show them a roadmap, you show them an evidence, and you explain how that is going to like help them. Then another thing is empowerment. Okay, so sometimes they want to listen to you, but at the end of the day, they'll be like, what is in it for us at the end of the day? So that's like if I want to go to a place that I know that they are not used to new things, I'll therefore give them some funds, or give them a phone, for example, and say, okay, do you know that if you put your business on the internet, some people from abroad will start buying from you. They'll be like, really? But in this place, phones, no. Yeah. But when you start showing them that this phone as a tool can be used to do a lot of things, okay, you start seeing that they will be influenced. That you don't use trouble to orient people, you use influence, and that's kind of
Yes.
my two core anchors.
Thank you so much. So now we know that the problem is the mindset gap, the mindset slash cultural gap, and that's what you're offering as a solution is orientation and empowerment in form of equipping the people, the target audience that you would want to work with. So thank you so much. And you have talked about how it aligns with the Pact for the Future in the
Yes,
sense that it brings in inclusivity. So thank you so much, Josephine.
thank you
We'll
so
just
much.
go on to the next person, Musa, and at the end, we would have a sort of group feedback session. Hi, Musa. I know that you said that you were at your CDS, a lot of plenty story, but
Yeah,
thank you for still joining in.
I don't have a choice. I just have to join and complete this program from this since I've already started. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Network issues. I think Musa is experiencing network issues. Musa, you are muted first. And secondly, we can hear you, but confirm that you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so you can go ahead now.
All right,
Remember the problem, your solution, how it aligns to the Pact for the Future.
all right. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Musa Isa, and as you can see, I'm a copper serving in FCT Abuja. Now, one of the problems I actually outlined that will lead to the path to the future is tutoring service. Yeah, it's not just a problem for me because I enrolled in this program, but it's something I've been doing for quite some time now. Like, let me make a critical example now. When I was growing up, I grew up in a remote area actually, a community where education is never been emphasized and people dive into it because they see their colleagues going doing it. So one thing I got to learn is that after I finished my secondaries, so there was no one to actually synthesize me about what to do, what to study. But then my parents actually want me to study a medical course. At the onset, I actually want to be an engineer, but I don't know what it takes to be an engineer. right? Now, my parents want me to be a medical course. Okay, fine. I want to go with my parent choice. I enroll for my jam, and my, it's drastic because it's so totally bad. So later on, I decided to go for a pre-degree, which is called as remedial. Going there, I got to learn many things. Like I met many people, and I was actually taught to the extent that I read and I read. I realized that in my community, as a remote area, many people are still lacking in this education. Too bad. Like I have to go all over and over again, like starting from the beginning. And I don't know. It's quite unfortunate. I didn't get it. I didn't enroll as part of the medical course. I rather study agricultural science. So after some years in the university, I decided to come back to my community and synthesize some group of people. Actually, there was already an existing program known as system education by a young man who picked the interest that he wants to study medical course. Quite all right, that was interesting. But one thing I know is that he doesn't have the idea and the knowledge needed to be part of these people. So I enroll as part of the team. I started tutoring them. After some time, I can tell you critically now that I have no less than four students in different university studying medical course. And I'm still in touch with them, and they are always appreciating me that if not because of me, they would have ended up not even going to school. So now my idea is that these remote areas they are still lacking in education, and those parts are still need to be what uh still need to be what bridge. So I come up with the idea that okay, fine, if someday I am going to be a tutor, not just a tutor and also an influencer, guiding them on their choices and their education, I will be able to enlighten many youth in my community to become whatever they want to be. Now, I also have some youths who wanted to study engineer, but they don't know what it takes to be an engineering student. I took up this I took the challenge. I decided to educate them one after the other, not necessarily tutoring them, but I educate them on how we need to work and what you need to do to become an engineering student, which you aspired for. Now, the idea is that if not for this education, I was able to go out of my community to participate in this education. I would have a less knowledge about anything that has to do with education. So now, my point is that what I will do is I will still try to organize more programs, tutoring programs, so that everyone who wants to participate in the program can actually benefit. It's actually going to be voluntary, especially with the rise in education. Right now, hello,
Yes, we can hear you, Musa.
okay, especially with the rise of education, tech, and other basic skills that is available globally now. But I can still tell you that in the remote area where I grew up, this part of education is still lacking there. And I will be willing to be the forefront leading this team that will be able to tutor everyone in most of the remote area, not just in my community, but other communities around Nigeria, for them to be synthesized of this education and be equipped for the skills. Hello.
Okay, thank you so much, Musa. Because quite a number of people are complaining that they can't hear or they didn't hear everything that you were saying. Just so that I project everything that he has said. Basically, Musa has said that in his community or coming from his community, he has seen that there is a low rate of education of the youth in his community and even in sort of neighboring communities around where he lives. And although somebody has helped, he would be willing to, bring the solution of educating as much people as possible in his community and other communities. While I see that, and thank you so much. If there is one thing that I know, a lot of times when we bring up solutions to problems, we are usually the first set of people who feel the problems sometimes, right? If we don't feel like a particular problem, then if when we want to bring up the solution, it might be a bit abstract. But he has said that he knows that there is a problem from his community or in his community, and he's willing to educate as much people as possible up to the level that he has been able to get to. And while I see that there is a
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Once again, I think Sarah is having network challenge, and here we are going to be calling the next speaker on board in person of OB being sung to come speak about the future of Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's make welcome Mr. OB B Song, a woman, a woman. All right, thank you so much. Yeah.
Hi everyone. Good morning. I am happy to be here. I am happy to have the opportunity to talk before us. My name is Naomi Opibisong, as earlier stated, and I am a woman, not a man. Um, I have been given the opportunity to come and talk before everyone here. And before I start, I would like to thank the organizers of this show for giving me this opportunity. And I would also like to thank everyone who is here present for being here, for listening to me, and for helping us get to make an impact together. So I'd like to get right into it. Yeah. So for those of us who don't know, or for those of us who just sent us a link and we don't know what the program is about. First of all, I would like to know if everyone is hearing me, because I wouldn't want to talk and no one is hearing me. So please, am I audible enough? Is everyone hearing me?
yes, we can hear you. I mean,
Is everyone hearing me?
we
Okay, I don't think.
I think we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so the path of the future, right? The youth are here connecting my job and entrepreneurship and aspiration to the pact of the future. Okay, so if we are being sincere with ourselves, if we are being honest with ourselves, we are being real. Many young people face the issue of limitations, unemployment, limited opportunities, and all that. But with every challenge that we face comes opportunities to create opportunities. Forgive my tautology, but for lack of a better word, creates opportunities for us to do something. And we have the power to shape the future. We don't have to just wait for it. Now, I'd like to take a little dive into myself. I am a lawyer. I'm an advocate for human rights, and I'm passionate about diplomacy and international affairs. And my journey into law has taught me that justice is not just about laws. It's about creating access to opportunities. I'm here today to share with you my opportunities and to get you all part of something bigger. Now, you'll be hearing the pact of the future, the pact of the future. What is this pact of the future? I'd want us to understand what the pact of the future is and all that. Now, the pact of the future, in a layman's understanding, right, is an agreement to make the future, our future, a better one. It's an agreement to create a better place, to create a better world for all of us to live in, right? And we are all a part of that future. Now, what is it about? We are creating economic opportunities. We are giving young people, we are able to help young people build careers and businesses. We are empowering women and youth. We are getting them inclusive in the economy to make the economy a bigger one. We are promoting justice and human rights so no one is left behind. Now, there are various programs that have been created. There are people who have seen this vision and put this vision into light. There are programs like Say We and On the Job, Say We and On the Job Nigeria. Now, I'd like to inform you that these two programs are created by the organizers of this event, which is Mind the Gap. If you go to their website, you'll see various other programs and you can join in. Now, Say We have done a lot of beneficial things. On the Job has done a lot of beneficial things. They've been able to impact 24,000, 10,000 people on various aspects. Now, my problem, which is the main reason why we are here, my problems and my solution. I gave 3 problems. The first one was hidden talent, no opportunities. Now, we're talking about too many young people having incredible talent in arts, in craft, in entrepreneurship, but they lack the platform to showcase their skills. They lack the platform to reach out to people. There's some of us who have the opportunity to reach out to people, or the famous saying that have connection. Connection will get you where you are. So what happens to those who don't have connection? They lack the platform to get this connection. It's not like they don't want to try. They want to try. They want to get this connection, but they can't get it. So then what happens to them? Now, they can't showcase their skills. They can't gain visibility. They can't receive financial support. And as a result, their potential remains untapped. Their dreams are unfulfilled. So they are where they are. And then you see people going to things that are wrong and are illegal, and then we blame them for their situation. My solution was a community outreach event. There was a proposal of £1,000,000, which we know that right now in this economy, £1,000,000 is like child's play. If you once you remove one kobo from it, once you have 99.99999, it's no longer £1,000,000. It's gone. But then, if £1,000,000 has to go, it has to go on something that makes an impact, right? You have to spend it on something that makes an impact. Now, the £1,000,000 I would use to create an event where marginalized individuals can showcase their skills, right? Now, they compete for funding, for mentorship, and marketing support. There are shows that gives people financial support. I don't know if anyone knows Shark Attack. Now, there is a Nigerian version of Shark Attack, which is Lion's Den, right? And those shows like that give people financial support, and the rest. Now, this will not only give them a launch pad to success, to also highlight human rights issues, providing that economic empowerment is a key part of justice. We are saying economic empowerment. We are making it a part of our justice system. We are making it a part of our growth system. Now, my second issue was youth in rural areas have skills, but they have no access to jobs. Now, I'm not talking about entrepreneurs. I'm not talking about people who have crafts. I'm talking about people who went to school to learn something. Let me take, for example, an engineer. You went to an engineering school. You're out. You're a graduate, but you have no job. Now, there are companies who need people, but because you don't have access to these people, you don't know someone who knows them, you don't have access to these job opportunities. And by the time it's getting to you, it's like too late and time has elapsed, you can't apply anymore. So we are trying to what I'm saying is young people learn valuable skills. The fact that they can't relate or get out to these employment, leave them unemployed, gives them financial struggles, and they have to migrate to urban areas just to survive because they can't survive in the city or survive in wherever. Now, my solution is a digital platform connecting rural youths to marketers. What I mean is creating an online platform that links skilled people in rural areas to businesses and individuals in urban centers. Now, imagine a young person having to work from home, probably tutoring from home, probably earning money, designing logos from home, and the rest of it. He doesn't have to come to town and have to start sourcing house rent and all that. He's trying to survive, and then he's struggling to make ends meet with the money he's trying to get. He can do what he needs to do from home if he has access to these jobs. Now, the third problem was waste. Waste is everywhere, but recycling is rare. In Nigeria, we generate millions of tons of waste every year. In fact, every month, I'm not, every year is exaggerated. Every month we generate millions and tons of waste. Yet we don't have a proper waste collection system, and recycling barely exists. Now, this leads to pollution, leads to health risks and environmental degradation. My solution is a waste management and recycling initiative, which is structured to collecting waste collection and recycling this waste. Now, we are also creating job opportunities for entrepreneurs who can turn this waste into reusable products. I would like to end with a statement from Adenike Ogunlesi. I don't know, for those of us who know her, she's one of the members of Lions Den. She said, and I quote, that to drive compliance, you have to have eyes on people. Otherwise, they don't have the mental discipline to do the mental or moral discipline to do what they need to do what's right without somebody shining a torch over them. Now we have the ability to shine a torch over people. So please let's do the needful to shine the torch on people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Naomi. Brilliant, brilliant ideas I'm hearing today. I mean, creating a platform that connects the rural youth to opportunities in urban areas. That's right. And then, creating items or recycling waste in the country. So I'm just going to bring up the last person. And then, like I said, we would have a general feedback session so that we do not stray too much out of the time duration that we have set for it. Hi, Godwin. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. When
Yes,
all
we
right,
can hear you.
that's good. My name is Wesley Godwin. I'm an NYC. I'm a core member serving in Abuja from Mass Literacy CDS. You understand? So, Pact for the Future. I think I wouldn't want to go back and forth because OBB song has already nailed it. Why we are here? You understand? It's like shaping. We're trying to project what's going to happen in the future, both sustainability and then improvement. You get so now. How do we get? How do youth? The goal is the youth are here and the youth involvement in this the pact for the future. Now, if you look very closely, you discover that most of the youths, I discovered that most of the youths are kind of hooked on drugs. You get so that's why I came up with a proposal like to launch a literacy campaign. You understand? So my focus is on the younger generation in terms of pupils and secondary schools within and around our environment. We discover that with the growth of drug abuse, illicit substance use, both legal and illegal. So when the term drug abuse, when you hear drug abuse, you think it's a personal thing and then you relate to both the abuser and then the immediate families of the abuser. No. Drug abuse is a social economic menace and has been, I don't want to go into statistics, you get, but then the facts are out there. And we discover that most of the people who use and abuse these drugs are youth from the ages of 13 to 35. We discovered that the above, I don't want to go into percentage so that I will not take much of our time. But what do I propose? I'm saying that, there's what we call, it's enough to do sensitization. There's a lot of sensitization going on about drugs, both in schools and then maybe on the media. But it's enough to talk. It's enough to say it. But how do you propose sustainability and ensure that this knowledge that you are getting these people into, you understand, how do they stay? So my plan is to launch a literacy campaign, you understand, within secondary schools, with the involvement of school administrators. You understand? School administrators, both parents, both guidance and counselors, health workers, NGOs. We're going to be partnering with so many of them. You understand? So that it's okay to launch a seminar, to do a campaign on drug abuse, but how do you help those that are already hooked on drugs? You understand? You find it difficult. You find people that are drug abusers, for example. You find it very hard for them to relate or maybe talk to somebody. So what I plan to do is if given the opportunity, you understand, is to launch this literacy campaign, organize seminars. After that seminar, create a drug-free club in every school that we are going to touch, so that the club is good, the administrators can get connections with those students who might have been abused. So there are so many reasons why people involved in drugs. I don't want to go into it. So many reasons. Some of them is as a result of the influence of their parents. Some of them take it because of peer pressure. So you get to know all those things. We get to snatch them young. That is my plan. In line with there's this NAFDAC, what's it called, Catch Them Young initiative that NAFDAC is currently running. So and then in line with that, we should, I believe this my literacy campaign is going to snatch them young, that educate them, orientate them, let them know that the drug abuse is not just because I'm not taking it, I should be less concerned. There are a lot of menace that both the abusers and those that do not abuse drugs face, in terms of, okay, let me just put let me kind of cite an example. In terms of, you don't know let's say you are taking a cab or something, you don't know the person you are entering his car. If the person is mentally destabilized as a result of drugs that he used, your life is in the hands of that cabman. Are you getting me? That is why you see that drug abuse is an everybody thing. You cannot dissociate yourself and say, because I'm not involved in it, I'm not going to get engaged. So I believe, if given the opportunity, I'm going to launch this orientation and then get both the staffs, both the administrators of schools to get involved in in relieving or reducing the menace of drug abuse in the society. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Wesley Godwin. I mean, it's been really, really great hearing from all of you. Just listening to the ideas that you have all come together to speak about. It really, really tells that we are very observant about our environment, because we can see that, okay, this is a problem which directly or indirectly affects us, and I am trying to provide a solution to it. So thank you very much. From Josephine, who wants to create a mindset reorientation basically and help people, equip them with the tools that they need to, thrive in whatever community that they are in, to Musa, who wants to increase the level of education in his community. And then we have Naomi, who, amazing, wants to help turn all of our waste into recyclable, reusable items, and as well as create a platform where youth in rural areas can also gain opportunities that are available or most times only available to those in urban areas. To Wesley, who wants to do not just a drug literacy campaign, but also form a sort of rehabilitation um, um, solution, basically, where people who are entrenched in drug habits and addiction, they are able to move on and basically get out of that and go on to live a happy or at least a fulfilling future. So amazing, amazing, amazing ideas. And I love how tying this into the Pact for the Future, all of you have talked about the youth, which is one of the key thematic areas of the Pact for the Future, the youth and future generations. Because at the end of the day, while we are saying that the youths are here, we want the youth to remain, right? We just don't want it to be us who are the youth right now with doing all of the things right now, and then we can't first off leave solutions for the future generations and basically equip them to carry on as well and leave something that is sustainable. So thank you to everybody who has joined. Thank you to all of the speakers who have shared their ideas. I mean, it's really, really amazing that we are thinking in this line, and I truly, truly appreciate you. Now, like I mentioned, both on the group from where we even started having this conversation, and then even right now, all of the ideas have been noted, and all of these things that we're talking about, both the job creation you want to do and the projects you want to implement, everything we're thinking about how to ensure that they are sustainable, right? So everybody who has spoken today, I or someone else from Mind the Gap would definitely be reaching out to you. But first, we wanted to create this platform because, like Naomi said, creating platforms, right? We wanted to create this platform to show people out there that, okay, yes, the youths are here, but at the same time, they have ideas that can be implemented and ideas that we should run with, right? So I hope that this has encouraged every other person who has watched this session today or who would watch this session today about how they can start thinking and think big, right? We have a platform where you can share these ideas, and anybody can just watch this video and, like I said, decide to say, oh, this is a very brilliant idea and we want to fund it. So just as a last thing that I'm going to say, the ideas here that we have heard, they are just the beginning, and innovation doesn't stop here. Like I said, it thrives in collaboration, execution, partnerships, and don't forget perseverance. So by the time you start eventually implementing all of your different projects, don't get discouraged quickly, right? So I'm encouraging every one of us to continue refining your ideas, seek feedback, and connect with like-minded people like yourself. The Pact for the Future is not just a vision, it's a call to action to every one of us. So let's basically turn these ideas into reality and shape both our future and the future of the future generations together. Thank you very much. I'll hand over to Mayowa now.
You, Esoya. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all of the speakers that have actually graced us with their presence and also giving us their feedback and provided solution by what they are thinking they can do, what they have started doing. And we also want to say big thank you to Mr. Tayo for providing a platform like this and also for all you do for Nigerian youth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to put action. Right? The youth are here. Could you ask yourself this question? What are you doing now? What are you doing? Are you doing something to be part of the future? What are you doing in the political space? What are you doing in the environmental space? What are you doing in the socio-economic space? Are you just sitting and you watching? Where you're staying in your community, what you're doing, and wherever you find yourself, there is a problem. Like Mr. Tayo said, he wants to stop complaining, but start providing solution, which he has been doing. He has been providing solution. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to take a step. Next week, we're going to be seeing ourselves here again. It's a series, and you don't want to miss out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are signing up from our end to talk about how we want to impact in small-scale businesses. They are all around. They are all around. Ladies and gentlemen, go to your community, do something, improve the well-being of that business close to you, and ensure that you're doing something in your community, politically, socially, economically, environmentally, anywhere you can do something. Connect yourself with Mind the Gap. Connect yourself with my SDG, the Digital Model CDS and DLCF is doing. Connect yourself with also the deep program we are also running. All of these can help you to upskill and get yourself connected to the path of future. We sign out from our end. We say thank you so much. See you next week and same time and same venue, same place. God bless you. Thank you so much for showing up and bye for now.